So after you have done and created your checklist, the second thing that you might consider creating is the worksheet. A worksheet is a useful form or it's a useful document for your customers to brainstorm, write down information, and create a plan. And they can use it to follow along with your checklist, right? So, and you might ask, how do I create it? So how do you create it? So first of all, look at the items in the checklist you've created. So you've listed out the items, look at them and turn some of the items into questions, right? So how do you do such and such? How to perform X, Y, Z,
yeah,
right?
Should they know to be able to do it, right?
Exactly. And then also try to put yourself in the shoes of your customers. Try to think, what are the questions, some of the questions that your customers might ask, and then you add them in the worksheet, right? So and also what should they brainstorm about and expand on in order to achieve their goals? That's how you basically construct the worksheet.
Some tips for creating your worksheets is ask clear questions and give detailed instructions so that they consider everything that you're trying to help them explore. You can do fill in the blanks, you can do multiple choice or open-ended. If you're not sure, do open-ended, because what's most important is that you ask good questions that help them come up with the right path for themselves. And honestly, I think a lot of people might look at worksheets and not actually fill them out, but they like to read them so that they can, answer these questions in their head. That's how I usually work with worksheets myself. And I think I'm probably not the only one, but a lot of people do like to write it out. And again, this also make it chronological to your lesson, highlight all the different sections of what you taught and each, step in the process or whatever it is, so that people can, can read through it easily. You might consider making different documents, or you might make a big giant workbook, whatever you think your customers would prefer. And I'm sure even with our audience, there's different preferences, but for me, I'd rather have different worksheets rather than a big workbook, because then I can just print out the one I want, or I can just look at it. If you're an overachiever, you could possibly do them all separately, but then also give them one big document for the people who love to, print everything out, so that they don't have to open up separate documents all the time. And again, a practice for you that might work for you, that works for me, is so it's presentation first, then I do the checklist because it makes sure I got all the steps. And then I can do the worksheet because I see the steps and I see where they might need to go deeper. And then it's easier to do the worksheet from there.